1966 in Bracebridge, Ontario, Kris King's journey from small-town beginnings to the highest levels of professional hockey is a story of perseverance, leadership, and compassion, both on and off the ice. His path began in the northern Ontario town of Hornpain, population 800, where he first laced up his skates at just 5 years old. Even then, his determination stood out. When the family moved to the Muskokas, Kris became a prolific scorer with the Ravenhurst Minor Hockey Association, a fierce competitor who led his Junior C League in scoring. That competitive drive earned Kris a place with the Peterborough Petes of the Ontario Hockey League, where he built a reputation as a fearless, physical presence and became the team's all-time leader in penalty minutes. But behind the toughness was a player motivated by loyalty and heart, someone who stood up for his teammates and led by example.
I don't think it was a revelation when I actually looked him up, because he gave me a little bit of a heads up as to what it is that I might expect. And that had to do with, his being a tough guy on the ice. He joked with me about the fact that the average NHL hockey player might have 270 minutes of penalties by the time they retire. And he, I think, had 2,700 or something like that.
Drafted in the 4th round of the 1984 NHL Draft by the Washington Capitals, Kris's road to the big leagues wasn't easy. He paid his dues in the minors before carving out a 14-season career in the NHL, playing for 6 teams: the Capitals, Detroit Red Wings, New York Rangers, Winnipeg Jets, Phoenix Coyotes, Toronto Maple Leafs, and Chicago Blackhawks. Known as a relentless checker and dependable teammate, he was the player who did the hard things, blocking shots, protecting stars, and never backing down from a challenge.
My first memory of Kris King is not a good one. It's a bad one, and I'm going to tell you why. Kris King's very first National Hockey League game was against me. I was in goal for the opposing team. In Detroit, Kris didn't have skates, borrowed a pair of skates from a teammate, Dougie Hallward. Wore those skates. He scored his very first NHL goal on me. And I remember thinking, who the hell is this guy who scored on myself with borrowed equipment? That was Kris King.
Off the ice, Kris became just as well known for his heart. In Winnipeg, he championed 5 local charities, chaired the Manitoba Muscular Dystrophy Association, and served as honorary chair of the Ronald McDonald House. He granted Make-A-Wish requests and co-hosted the Jerry Lewis Telethon. In New York, he worked with addiction recovery programs and was even nominated for a Points of Light Award for community service, an honor presented by the President of the United States. In 1996, Kris received one of the NHL's most prestigious honors, the King Clancy Memorial Trophy, awarded to the player who best exemplifies leadership and humanitarianism.
Kris has unbelievable leadership skills, and those leadership skills are really most demonstrated by his commitment and his hard work. And it was the same attributes that made him a quality hockey player, and it's the same attributes that make him a terrific person and somebody that has flourished in the National Hockey League.
After 849 NHL games, 66 goals, 85 assists, and over 2,000 penalty minutes, Kris retired in 2000. But his influence on the game didn't stop there. He transitioned into leadership at the NHL's head office in Toronto, where he now serves as Executive Vice President of Hockey Operations, overseeing the NHL's Situation Room and ensuring fairness and integrity across the league.
And Kris had that intangible side of the ledger that says, I might not be as fast as you, might not be as strong as you, I might not score as many goals as you, but I'm going to work harder than you. So working for the National Hockey League, covering 1,200 and some games in the regular season and another couple hundred in the playoffs takes hard work. That's something you can't teach. That's something that Kris King had.
Beyond hockey, Kris's compassion has touched countless lives. In 2017, he helped found Camp Faces, a summer program for families of fallen emergency services and military personnel, offering healing, hope, and community. He also worked with the OPP and NHL alumni to create Putting Stigma in the Penalty Box, a mental health awareness series that gives voice to those struggling in silence. And through it all, Kris has never forgotten his roots. He built Kris King's Muskoka Summer Hockey School, mentoring young players and giving back to the community that first believed in him.
And I had known Kris just long enough where I thought I'd give him a call and see if I created the summer camp, would the NHL be willing to contribute things like merchandise and sweaters and things like that, just to excite the kids. And I remember him saying to me on the phone, I think I can do better than that. He said, why don't I come and help out? And Kris was there every single day as a very celebrated athlete, but really as a father.
In 1997, Kris and his family moved to Aurora, where he continued his lifelong commitment to giving back. He coached minor hockey, supported local charities, and alongside his wife Paula, served as co-chair of the Ronald McDonald House. In every role, player, leader, mentor, Kris King has embodied the values of teamwork, resilience, and empathy.
Kris, I want to take a moment just to congratulate you and celebrate your success, not only as an athlete, but also as a man, as a father, as a grandfather, as a community member, and being inducted in to the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame.
Kinger, all I can say is that it's so well deserved. You had a great career in the NHL, and you've had an unbelievable career in your post-playing days with the National Hockey League, and it is well deserved. I'm very happy for you and your family, Kinger, and they couldn't have picked somebody better to go into the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame.
Kris King, congratulations on being inducted into the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame. From the humble beginnings of scoring your first NHL goal on me, embarrassing me that first night, I've forgotten all about it, but I'm going to remember this. You're a great teammate, you're a great friend, you're a great family man, and you deserve to be elected into the Hall of Fame. From my family to yours, congratulations. What the hell took you so long? This is your night. Congrats, Kinger.
And now, in recognition of his outstanding contributions to hockey, his tireless community leadership, and his unwavering commitment to others, we are proud to welcome Kris King into the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame.